It has been quite some time since I've thrown together a build video for everybody. I got a wild hair yesterday and I've been throwing myself at it ever since. Just so we're all on the same page, this is a Ruinous Effigy build that takes advantage of Nezarec's Sin, hallowed be its name, in conjunction with the bottom tree Voidwalker to make one of the most single potent damage and healing combos I've seen in an extremely long time. We've got a lot to cover, so why don't we just go ahead and jump straight into this, yeah? We're starting with the bottom tree Voidwalker, as I said earlier, for an entire tree's worth of skills that this build actually utilizes. This is a rare thing. Most builds take advantage of one or two and just kinda call it a day. First off, we have Devour. Kills with this melee ability fully regenerate your health. For a short time afterward, kills restore additional health. Second, we have Feed the Void. Consume your grenade energy to regenerate your health. This will also activate Devour. It is exceedingly handy. Third, we've got Insatiable. While Devour is active, killing enemies extends its duration and recharges small amounts of grenade energy. This is also exceedingly handy. Lastly, we have Vortex. Nova Bomb creates a singularity which continually damages enemies that are stuck inside of it. Kills with the Nova Bomb will also activate Devour. So, we've got three different methods to activate an ability that drastically improves our combat performance. Devour recharges grenade energy, but it also heals you. So, what that really translates to here is that you have three different ways you can go about healing yourself in the event that you end up in a bad spot. Which, for the record, is 100% guaranteed, because what other way is there to play this game as of right now save for ruthless aggression? It can also stack on top of things like Breach Resonator or Abyssal Extractors, which creates for a real nasty bugger of a PvE combo that is incredibly easy to master. Also, if you're not using a Vortex grenade, you're just doing it wrong. That thing is straight nuts. Next, we're going to take a look at two exotics specifically. They are exceedingly important, and while there are always other things that you could use, these two make for the best possible experience. That is not an exaggeration. You could just use Graviton Lance with this, but it is nowhere near as fun. Ruinous Effigy is a gun that everybody is still freaking out over, and rightfully so, too. This thing is awesome. But I have this thing called a life, and as a result, I wasn't able to grab it immediately. Either way, let's discuss it a little bit. Final blows with this weapon turn targets into these little transmutation spheres you can pick up and beat people with. It's really nice because void, but we'll get to that in just a minute. For now, the main thing about this gun that really matters is the transmutation sphere, because it can create a dome of void energy around you that absolutely tears targets apart. It is wonderful. It is perfect for crowd control and ability regeneration. You likely already noticed that I don't have the catalyst for it just yet, so I'm just going to say this now. Get the catalyst. It makes that void dome hit a lot harder, which is exactly what you need when you're relying on things dying to get energy and health back. Nezarec's Sin is the exotic that we're using, as I mentioned earlier. There is a big reason for this. A very, very big reason for this. See, the Void Dome you can create with the Transmutation Sphere qualifies as a Void kill. It's important to know how the exotic works before anything else, though. So, Abyssal Extractors returns ability energy on Void kills, but it's on a timer. The more kills you get, the higher that timer goes, creating a larger window for energy regeneration. It doesn't so much return energy as much as it does increase your stat tiers until that timer hits 0, but it's essentially the same thing. Faster cooldowns equate to more ability usage. It caps at 20 seconds, which is far more than enough, especially with Effigy in your hands, and it will stack on top of Devour, meaning double energy regeneration. It is a wonderful feeling, people. It is a wonderful feeling. There's a few mods I'd recommend. Some of them aren't really all that necessary, but if you really want to have the same gear that I do, I'll show you each mod, what element, and where it's getting slotted into. Starting with Nezarec, I've got 2 stacks of enhanced scatter targeting. That's because I'm using an escape velocity in my kinetic slot. There are 1,000 other weapons you could use in its place, so if SMGs just aren't your thing, or you just hate the gun, feel free to stack whatever's better for you. For the gauntlets, we've got 1 stack of Fastball, 1 stack of Impact Induction, and lastly, Taking Charge. Taking Charge is mainly for Lucent Blade, which is another mod we'll be talking about here in just a moment. Chest mods are extremely easy. All you need is a Breach Resonator, Overload Grenades, and a stack of Lucent Blade because we're going to be using Falling Guillotine as our heavy. Its secondary perk doubles your guard recharge rate, so if you really want that, you only need to slot an Arc Resist. Lucent Blade is extremely important because we're banking on a Devour/Sword combo for boss damage. Grenades are crucial for weakening enemies, and Lucent Blade eats a charge of light for a massive increase to sword damage when your guard is at a full charge. As always, greaves are virtually non-essential. The only thing here that actually matters is Enhanced Sword Scavenger. Sustained charge is a great way to generate charges of light, but if you have the catalyst, you're not going to need it. And lastly, on your class item, all you need is Better Already and Oppressive Darkness. That about sums it all up for mods. We've got a real nasty build here, so let's talk a little bit about how it actually works on both the mechanical and a practical level. Devour is the center of everything that this build has to offer you. There are 3 ways to activate it. You can knock out a crowd of mobs with a Nova Bomb, you can get a charged melee kill, or you can consume your grenade for healing. How you choose to activate it, that is your choice. That's on you, boo. It's what you do afterward that determines whether or not you're going to get stepped on, or if you're going to be the one doing the stepping. Once Devour is active, any and all void kills will recharge grenade energy. This is where Ruinous Effigy comes into the equation. A single kill will create a transmutation sphere, and once you grab it, your only objective is to trash on those mob crowds as hard as you possibly can with that Void Dome. There are 2 reasons for this. For starters, the Void kills will activate Abyssal Extractors and reset your Devour countdown. Second, the Void Dome is actually a drain attack, meaning that it drains health from targets and returns it to you. This is an extremely important gimmick that a lot of people tend to overlook. Everyone just kind of thinks that it's a damage dome, and yeah, that isn't wrong, but it also keeps you from getting one-shot immediately. It can keep you alive in a crowd of majors. You can also throw grenades while you're using this sphere. It's similar to any other interactive object in the game. Since both Devour and Abyssal Extractors are constantly active because mobs are constantly dying from the sphere, you'll constantly have full ability energy. Maxing stat tiers isn't necessary with this because the gains far outweigh the normal cooldown speeds. You could sit at 0 discipline and still have a grenade ready at any given moment. Oppressive Darkness means you can drain them for health while also dealing extra damage to them. Throwing grenades will weaken targets, so it'll make the Void Sphere hit significantly harder. Stack that on top of the Catalyst that I still don't have, and you're hitting even harder. Another viable strategy at this point is to whip out your sword and take advantage of Lucent Blade while Oppressive Darkness is active. All in all, this is about circular energy, using one ability to fuel another, so on so forth. Devour fuels your grenades, Effigy fuels Devour and Abyssal Extractors, and your health bar. You can see my meaning here. This is an extremely potent combination, so dig in and have a blast. I have another weapon review coming up in the next few days. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this. Let me know if there's anything you'd change or what weapons you would use instead. It makes for great conversation, and seeing the viewpoints of other players really helps out on the creation side of this. Building new content is far less stressful when I have recommendations or ideas from viewers. Keep in mind that I too am just a normal Destiny player. All of this comes from experimentation, YouTube videos, and me just kinda dicking around with my friends. Speaking of friends, I have to take a moment to give a shout out to the guy who helped me get this footage. This video would have taken an extra week if S-Nord had not helped me get the footage that I need, so be sure to tell him that you love him in the comments. You never know, he might even do a few dirty things for you. Until next time, the Boy of Jays is out.